Go for it. Zero. I'm starting right there.
She was on the side. I was just looking at it.
You guys are serious.
Please. I'm so sorry.
Anyways. Hello all, and welcome to another episode of the Heavy. What? What did I say? Yes, no. Guy, I was.
Oh, hey guys.
That corporate life I did. That corporate things I did. I'll see corporate nigga, man. Can I say hello?
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
What's up, guys? Also, I don't know why I just say hello all like that. Now, email in my mind like this.
Like, what's good, everybody?
What's good?
No.
What's good? That's what I'm no profanity. It's profanity now. What do you mean?
At the beginning of the podcast.
At the beginning, first. Okay. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Heavy Ed podcast. We'll be having some conversations with folks in entertainment within Atlanta. Folks that are involved when it comes to music, it comes to event throwing, parties, production. We're going to be having conversations with them, asking them about their journeys, and kind of getting an insight into like how they got to where they are. I have a couple of folks here with me. Before I introduce them, I'm BJ, your lovely host, and I have two wonderful girls, two wonderful ladies here that are about to have some conversations with you guys. Hi.
Hey guys, I'm Chiz. I'm a talent manager, A&R, and I'm also the CEO of Rhythm Lab Studios.
CEO. Stop playing.
Okay. Hey everybody. Okay, sorry. So, hello everyone. Bonjour. Comment ça va tout le monde? My name is Andi K, and I'm an Afro R&B upcoming independent artist.
Hard. I know that's right.
Hard. And you know, like I feel like Atlanta for the longest time, even like specifically recently, has been a good hub for Afrobeats, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a great hub for music in general, to be very frank. So, and I see that two of you have been, you know, very well versed when it comes to this music thing, whether I've been an artist, producer, talent manager, whatever the case is. So how did you guys get to where you currently are? Like, speak to me about that.
Well, I mean, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, initially, let me start even with high school. Like coming out of high school, I played ball. Like in
like
high
basketball.
School, basketball.
Fairs.
I thought like when I relocated down to Atlanta, you know, I came straight from Nigeria. Yeah. And from middle school, high school, I thought I was going to play ball. But going into like, you know, after I graduated, I got into college. Mm-hmm. Life started to life, you know, life be lifing. Mm. So, you know, from there, I started just meeting people. And then the first person I actually met was Pascal. You guys probably know him by Don P. He's a producer. I'll probably say the best producer Afrobeats-wise in Atlanta.
Fairs.
But if I do say so myself.
As a big step.
Anyways, I met P, and then, you know, we just kind of kicked off on the road with the music thing. And then I met, like, then it was P, Tenny, like, you know, a lot. We were just all still trying to figure it out. And then I just loved it.
Fairs.
And for a very long time, it never felt like work. Like, it was like, okay, like, for me to love it as much as I loved hooping, because I thought like I was gonna go pro, and you know that was.
Oh, you're that good.
I was good, but my grades was not the best. So like I always struggled academically. Yeah. But like when it came to the talent with sports, it was there. But when music came about, like I know I not the best singer. I don't want to sing. Mm-hmm. But like I had a passion for just kind of like managing what goes on like outside.
So like back end, are you like more back end?
I'm very back end.
So like making it happen.
Yeah, I've had a lot of up and coming artists here, you know, in Atlanta that I've worked with. And then I moved on to shout out to Desmond, by the way. Shout out to Danny Vale's Studios. That was the first studio like that I actually worked out of, where I was just A&R, and he gave me a lot of opportunities to just meet artists and meet people and, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, one thing led to another, and then I got my studio. I'm 3.5 years in now with the space. It's been amazing. I've met a whole lot of people. So the journey has been so far so good, I'll say.
So clarify, so Rhythm Lab, it is a studio and the lounge space?
So Rhythm Lab is a recording studio.
It's a recording studio.
It's a recording studio.
But as
you know how that works. And then being in Atlanta, before you enter the workspace.
It's mad.
So like, being in Atlanta, like it's just, I don't know, you could be in the salon and you're smoking hookah in Atlanta. So it's like, we tend to always just reach for, what is not reachable.
Nail spots everywhere, man.
There's hookah at nail spots, man.
Nail spot.
In Bucket, so you think that's bougie? Everybody smokes hookah in ATL.
It's bougie.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like Atlanta likes to create a space for vibes.
Yeah.
100%. I think like everyone in Atlanta likes to enjoy themselves. But then it gets to a point where you're enjoying yourself too much.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't be in a regular restaurant. Like for example, as a restaurant in Atlanta, I won't give you a name. I went to go and chop. Like I went there.
You won't give a name.
I won't give a name. It's not a very popular restaurant anyways. So I went to go and chop to enjoy myself. Like afternoon. So I went in like slides, t-shirts, shorts. One of my guys just went there to go and relax. So I enjoyed myself, I enjoyed that meal. Around 6 p.m, the light starts to go down. I start to see ice buckets come to the middle. I just saw like 3 being a hookah. Like they dispatched it to different areas. Like one here.
Now this was a regular restaurant.
This is a restaurant. I'm trying to
we're just chowing.
My ass smell like a goosey. And I was like, what's going on here? That's Atlanta for you, in my opinion, Sha. In my opinion, yeah. But Andi, tell me a bit about yourself. Like, how did you get to where you currently are with music?
Yeah,
what's your vibe?
Yeah, so I've been doing music since I've been a little kid. My grandma, shout out to Mama Kenge, that I have her middle name. And she was a singer in Congo. She was one of the first Catholic women to have like a whole Catholic group singer choir in Congo. Okay. So my dad used to play me her tapes and everything. It was very like auntie-fied, but like I just been connected ever since. And then I did the whole thing, choir here in high school and middle school, and then in college I did dancing at first, like ASA dance. I was like, I'm gonna use the dancing to get people's attention, and then like I'll start doing the music. But it's really tough out here to like just be able to stand out when there's already so many people, and I did like drop some music here and there, SoundCloud, but I think the turning point was COVID. Shout out to my bad.
Shout out to COVID.
Wait. Here, let me stop. I'm gonna just say, I know COVID was definitely a tough time for lots of people, but I feel like when it came to the entertainment industry, when it came to the influencers, when it just came to just social media.
Yeah, shout out to COVID. I'm gonna say that with my chest.
Okay,
like, yeah. I feel like you feel the same way, BJ, but like we're on camera, so we're gonna act like we don't.
No. I'm not going to add that.
Shout out to COVID.
I'm not going to add like I don't know what's going on. COVID made a lot of things shake in entertainment life in Atlanta.
Yeah. Or I would say this, shout out to God, because that pause allowed a lot of producers and A&Rs and labels to actually open up their DMs.
Yep.
So, that time was a time for everybody while they were watching certain people on live. We're not going to say that name. But, I was just DMing lots of producers, and I got lucky enough to work with people from there just up until now. Like, I got to work with Shizzy, I got to work with World, I got to, work with David, I got to work with some dope underground artists, big artists. I learned a whole new shebang about collaboration and writing and everything. So it's just been, one step at a time. But that's kind of where the journey really started from. I'll say like 2020. But I've been working. But I'll say like 2020 is when it just was a thing.
Yes. Speaking of rights, I'm actually curious. Would you say, like, have you written for other people as well as do you always write for yourself, or do you constantly grab inspo from different things and then make it something that, like, you think is beautiful?
Both. Like, I like to call myself Princess of Melody just because, like, I kid you not, I'll do whatever on the mic. I don't really stress about, I'm told to record every time, I'm told to record and write every day. But, like, I kind of try not to like hurt myself too much because I know that anything, I feel like at the end of the day, anything an artist does behind the mic, you can make it make sense.
Yeah.
Even if it's not good. There's so many songs that are not good, but they're like top one. You feel me? So it's like, I write for myself. I'm now doing a great job of accepting collaborations and accepting writers to help me. And I've also written for people, like, you know, if they want to. I'm still waiting for whenever that song and that placement comes out, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink,
Give
wink.
the info. But give us some info now. What's the placement you're talking about?
No. Like, just regular artists. Like, there's a lot of artists here in Atlanta that will hit me up from other people too, and they'll be like, hey, can you like write this song? And I will do my best to make a decent song, because I feel like I still got a long way to go when it comes to songwriting. Like, a long way to go. Like,
songwriting isn't easy.
It's not. Like, well, actually, I'll say it's not, and it is, because you can just write whatever you want to write. But then there are people like Ed Sheeran, there are people like World, where it's like you put your song next to them and they're like, yo, that pen needs to get harder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, it really, I don't know. It really just depends, too, on people's ears, because people just listen to anything.
I have a quick question. So, like, you kind of just said, like, you know, with that comparison, with putting, you know, songs kind of next to each other, be it Ed Sheeran or, like, World or whatsoever, would you say, like, genuinely and honestly that Is it a matter of not even your song? It could be any artist that just isn't known yet.
Yeah.
You know, would you say that is a matter of, you know, that artist needs to push their pen better, or is it just a fact that there just hasn't been enough people that it hasn't gone around enough ears as it has the other one?
I love that. I love that.
Because it's like, because I've been. Like, I have catalogs of songs, that I know that eventually, maybe not, maybe never.
Maybe not.
But that I believe in so well. It might not have been, you know, greatly written from the top to the bottom, but the whole concept of the song overall is leading me at an 8.
That's a song.
And that is huge.
That's a song. I love that.
So that's why I kind of, you know, when I ask stuff like that, because I'm an A&R, and being like, and saying that, like, I'm still learning. I haven't yet. I've worked, and I'm still associated with like big labels and stuff like that. But I'm not known yet. Yeah. I'm not where I feel like, you know, I would like to be. Now I'm okay, and I'm grateful with where I'm at. But it doesn't mean that I'm not putting in. You know, I'm not trying to be 10 steps ahead at all times.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I've come across a whole lot of artists, like here in Atlanta, because I've really worked with a lot. You name them, Toye, Tobes, all of them. Name them. They've either been to the studio of, like, you know, we've somewhat worked somehow, or, you know, along the line. And I wouldn't say it's a matter of that they're not good. It's just like, you know, there's also a thing of, you know, perfect timing and right place, right time as well.
I think you're spitting that.
And a lot of people don't understand that, like, just like myself, like, just even locally being in Atlanta, like, I know the work that little old me put in. Whether that means, like, you know, with an artist coming in Atlanta and they're having a show and I'm playing, you know, a minor part, you know, even if I'm the cleaner, like, you know, that bathroom got to be clean for y'all to take a shit. So my job is important.
Yeah.
So when I say that, I just say that to say when you're comparing now, is one thing to urge me to kind of want to do better, but like I feel like there's a lot of mainstream artists that are not even hitting on the level that the niggas or you know the artists that are not as known.
Them say that rent's already paid. The mainstream nigga that rent's already paid.
So that's just how I sort of like feel about it. Like I could name artists here in Atlanta that I feel like I could put with mainstream artists and they will rock their world. It's just that they haven't been put on that platform, you know, as these other artists. So like I said, the music hasn't gone around enough ears like the other one. So who are you to say that is better? Yeah. Even if you were doing a consensus, like it would make no sense.
That's true. Like I feel like that's been a little bit of my dilemma too, where like I'll meet certain people meet A&Rs and like they'll tell me like, okay, you know, artist development, you got to work on this, and then there's like this other group of A&Rs, other people who are like, you're
the work is there. Yeah.
The work is
you're doing your thing.
You're doing your thing. So emphasis on what you just said. It's really just about the listeners. Like that's why that's why I'd be like, oh, writing is hard, but writing is also easy because there are a good set of people on this earth that once they just hear you, once you get on that platform, it's over with. It don't matter. And I think like another perfect person to use is like SZA. People used to complain about how she wrote and how she's singing cursive. Oh, you can't understand. You can't. Look at her now.
Look at her now, man. Yeah. Lisa, she's so gone.
Like, look at her now. Like, I remember, for example, too, Thames, when she first came out with, I can't remember. I think Mr. Rebel. That's
Rebel, Mr. Rebel.
You know,
Mr.
at that
Rebel,
time,
yeah,
that's my shit.
I remember where I was.
Nigerians didn't understand it. They were like, I mean, it's not like they didn't understand it. They were like, they wanted different. Like they want log drums like, you know, at all times. Yeah. So like you can't really like, you know.
Me, I would say I wouldn't even want to say they didn't understand it. I would say more it was just like, are they gonna accept, like, can we actually believe that a Nigerian Afrobeat artist can make a song soulful like that and it can blow? And she was able to prove that it can blow because at the end of the day, all that matters is, like you said, being put in the right platform in front of the right group of people. It'll go. If it's not going to go in your own country, it's going to go somewhere else.
You're going to have to go somewhere, man.
Regardless.
And you always go somewhere.
So even the artists that you've mentioned, all it's going to just take is for the right lens. And even me too.
Yeah, like, for me personally, like, I think I relate so heavily to that because... I'm a big music lover.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time, like, I just love music. And one of the best things I love about music is whenever I see, like, I discover an artist that I feel like nobody really likes, I'm just like, because I'm always stuck with the curiosity of, like, why? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You get, like, why aren't you, like, bigger than you currently are? Like, what is, like, really your roadblock?
Support.
And you get what okay.
Support.
And that's where I'm going.
Support your people.
I really like that question.
Yeah, because
now you're turning me up.
Exactly. Because the actual thing is that you start to ask that question of like, why aren't you bigger? And then you do your research on these artists and you understand like there's so many issues that artists have. Either they have issues with producers, or they have issues with their label, or their management, or their A&R team, and like all together it contributes to like an artist's success. And it is so crazy that all it really takes is a platform and that success can just come to your lap. Because I feel like once, like, for example, like an artist that, let's say you play him in the room with Davido, and Davido likes the artist, Davido is going to give you all the structure you need to make a jam with you anyways. Now, in terms of you blowing, that's not Davido's business. That's your business. That's your personal problem.
Yeah.
That's what I always like to like think about because, guy, like, people keep saying that you can't really make a song with Whiskey until he wants you in a song. But the actual thing is that, like, guy, if Whiskey wants you in a song, he'll give you the enjoyment, he'll call you on the PJ, this and that lifestyle. Take that song from you, take not even your glory or your shine, but like ride your wave. And yes, to propel you, but obviously it's taking him to the level where he's really going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So to answer, okay, because Andi ended her statement with support, like, you know, in terms of like, because you asked, like, you know, why are these guys like, what's going on? Yeah. Like, and I feel like as an A&R myself, because right now, even with myself, I took a big step back with talent management. Though, like, it's still, you know, what I do, and, you know, that's still all me. I'm still working for a label, yeah? I don't have a choice. Well, I do have a choice. But, like, you know, I understand that it's not just... Because artists be like, oh, they don't have the support. But there's also a lot of dump that goes on the managers. Because it's like, we end up being these babysitters that we have no business being
100%.
in the first place.
100%.
Because artists come, and they come with, you know, nothing but their talent. And they're not coming to a record label. They're not coming to, you know, they're coming to an individual somewhat so like themselves that work a 9-to-5 job. And I'm going to just say this right now. With this music shit, is the money. the talent, I don't want to say fuck the talent because that would be rude, but it's really the money. That's what it really all boils down to. Because if that fund is available to kind of like get into some detailed marketing strategies and to do certain things and not stop. I don't mean 6 months and then we kind of relax because, you know, the pocket's kind of filling a little bit.
Money for the facts.
It's like your bills. It's reoccurring and it doesn't stop. So a lot of artists, they find themselves in this position where it's like, yeah, they kind of know where they want the music and the direction where they want it to go, but they haven't really they don't really understand the concept behind like the financial aspect of what they're trying to do and the magnitude of it. Because except you're just trying to do it, but if you're trying to play with the top dogs, you now have to be associating with like a power bank. Someone that could kind of like, you know, get you where you need to be. It's not, and then sometimes it's just you working consistently and you have to keep that pressure on whether, you know, anybody's looking or if they're not looking.
This is true, yeah.
But like I've dealt with a lot of artists here in Atlanta, not gonna put names out, that also feel like that should be sort of like given to them because they're doing this music shit. Nigga, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody knows the music just yet.
Let me tell you.
So we have to accept certain realities and then understand that, yo, to be able to really ride this wave, you need to bring a team that's on the same page as you. That know that, okay, now we have to start signing contracts. It's not just about we're just being cool and like we've known each other for a while and then we're going to do this and you're my bro. No. Working with a label had to teach me that it's not really about your feelings. It's business.
I've learned that. I definitely learned that.
So now it hurts the artist and then it hurts the manager. That's why I had to take a step back. Because when you now keep doing the same thing and you're not the same result, now you're almost damn near crazy.
True.
So in order to kind of like, just not for the artists, it's also the people that are doing this whole A&R talent management shit too.
It's for everybody.
You also have to know when it's kind of, you know, time for you to chill back a little bit. And if you need to just go back to the drawing board a little bit and figure out, yeah, you know what you bring to the table, but you have to make sure that whatever that is that I'm bringing to the table, that you somewhat so match it in a way. So if I meet an artist and where you're at right now and where I feel like I'm at, I don't think that I'll be able to kind of get you a step ahead from where you're at. It's not lucrative for the both of us.
Oh, for sure. Like, I really feel like I can't want it more than you want it. Like, you understand? Like, as I also am into talent management. So as someone that's in talent management, my rule of thumb is I can't want this thing more than you want it. You understand? I can't be gunning for you more than you're gunning for yourself. You can't work with an artist that you guys are not on the same like level. Like, you want this and the artist is like, oh, dragging their feet. I think you should do this, you should do that. The artist has to be ready to like support on the back end. Like, yo, like, I woke up this morning, I want to do music with this person. How can we make it happen? Dog, that's pressure on my ass because now I have to make it happen. I didn't wake up in the morning, I was like, let me think about it. Should I tell you? I tell you, and like, to make sense, make it happen. It has to be like, we have to both be on each other's ass.
Yeah, no, I just say that because nowadays, like, you know, you meet artists, nobody knows them from everywhere. Everybody have a manager. And this one has to go through this one. And it's like, okay, that's all good and dandy. But it's like, whatever it is that you guys are doing, it has to make sense. That's just how I feel, because it doesn't matter how long you do it. Eventually, like, you're just gonna be, you know, running in a circle. For sure. Because the artist can be talented, the artist can be pushing hard and all that, but if you, as the manager, don't have the resources to even kind of like get in rooms or like try to, you know, make some certain things happen, then you're not helping the artist. It's still kind of like, you know, the artist is just still floating and you're supporting. True say. But like,
you need to be the person
when you're owning a position, just like an artist, just like a manager, there are certain criterias that just has to be, is by default.
True say.
Because that's why now you're my manager. Because eventually, if this shit pops off,
I'm relying on you.
You have 20% of what the fuck is going on.
Breadwise too, man.
So, upcoming artists, if it goes both ways. If you don't feel like I have enough to bring to the table, then it just wouldn't work. Eventually it won't work. That's just all I have to say. Because if one person is like here and then the other person is here and they haven't had that, they're not linear on the same page on, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is the contract. And, this is my expectations of you. Yeah. And then vice versa.
And it's two ways.
And vice versa, this is what, I would do. And my obligation is to make sure that these things are going to be cross-checked as your manager. Then it still poses, it's to no avail.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have a point. And I think, like, it's as simple as, because there are some managers, upcoming managers, independent managers that are blessed to work with a driven artist, are blessed to be work with an artist that is ready to wake up, is ready to plan creative, is ready to accept marketing ideas, is ready to do vocal training, is ready to outsource in-house producers. You know how hard it is to shout out to Flush, Quantum Flush, and Master Don. So many other producers too that I've been blessed to work with that just out of just the fact that I've put in so much work into it. The time to get that. There are other artists that can't do that. So they got to, pay for those sessions.
Every single time. And it gets discouraging because it's like when you're not getting that residual back and you're just believing in that craft and how many sessions does it take to actually get a song in, a good song?
A good song.
That's if you don't have any home setup, not like that. And you're solely dependent on just, you like this music thing and you want to do it.
Exactly.
You're going to burn out. And then that's really what happens most of the time because, okay, a song gets put out, the artist is excited and is this and this song could go hard and is this and in my heart, sometimes I just bleed because it's like, I know how much it actually, if we want to run it, and the only alternative is that you're posting on Instagram every single day. Every single day.
But you know what?
But eventually they get tired.
That whole, correct me if I'm wrong, the discouragement of like the excitement of knowing you've worked so hard, you're about to drop the song and you're hoping that it'll blow, and at the same time you're like, it might not blow because
nobody knows me.
Dealing with nobody knows me. For me, I'd be like, let's not think about that. Let's not think about that.
Just don't do this, man. You have to let it go.
Let it go. Yeah. Be happy that it dropped. I mean, last year I dropped 2 songs. It was hard. There are people that can drop songs like every month. Yo, it was hard to just drop 2. But it's like to be able to finally do that. And I mean, I was writing paragraphs like this song was about to hit 1 million views, but just because at the end of the day it hit 1 million views in my head. And I know like there's always this monopoly thing in the future where it will come, like you never know the song.
It can come back.
It can come back. But like with the whole like management thing or just an A&R or somebody that's just helping you book shows, like what you said, y'all got to be on the same path. In Atlanta, there are a lot of dope artists here.
So many.
And I don't think you guys come together. That's just my opinion.
We'll get on that topic.
as a long topic.
We'll get
We'll get
on that topic. But there are a lot of dope artists. There are other artists that are doing their thing. Shout out to them. But I know there are some dope artists that are doing their thing, that are recording all the time, that have a setup. I'm still working on creating a setup. There are people that have setups and everything like that. But, if you're working with somebody that's not on the same level as you, that's not driven as you, it's gonna be tough. But then at the same time too, it's just like God puts everybody in certain places for a reason. Like if it didn't work out with this management or it didn't work out with this artist, like that whole mess up hiccup is gonna set you up for something else because like you said, it's about the bag, it's about the business. But me, I like to say it's really more about the business aspect because there are so many people that we look up to that have the bag, but they don't own that bag.
Yeah,
they don't own that bag. But once you you are able to get this business part together, it's like all is good. Like you got the music and the business.
100%.
It's hard.
I agree.
So
most of the artists they have the music, but it's like they don't understand like the business part, because the business part now means talking about the hard things, the things you don't want to talk about, which is 9 times out of 10 is money. How are we gonna mix the song? How are we gonna do this one? And we have to do flyer. Then we have to do like 1 or 2 club whatever. Fully get a section. Like, so it is. Oops, oh, my bad. So it's a lot when you think about it with like, upcoming artists. So when you're not on the same page with someone where it's like, okay, here's what it is, and this is what I can bring to the table, this is what you're bringing to the table, and 6 months from now, then there's 12 months from now, then we have 2 years. Even if we don't have to lock in a lifetime deal, but there has to be that said understanding, because that business is paper.
This is business.
And most times we're ignorant. We just want to sing and feel like everybody have our bag, and then everybody have our backs and this and the third. But no, like when you're on the same page with somebody, be that your manager, whatever. If you notice, most of the most successful like artist manager, like sort of like relationship, if you talk to them and you get to know them personally, the manager will tell you from the very beginning there was an understanding. Yeah,
from the beginning we set up.
Yeah, there was an understanding when it comes to the hard things that is, the things that is hard to talk about, such as like money, because nobody wants to talk about money. Nobody wants to, it's kind of sensitive if you think about it. So, but once you kind of get through that threshold, and it's like, okay, everything gels. So on your next release, you might not have it all together, but now we have that understanding, and everything is somewhat so aligned. So I don't feel like, okay, I'm just throwing money away and hopefully this thing goes. It doesn't go.
You gotta be like, you gotta be selfless too. Like to get to that to get to what she's saying, you have to be selfless, because you can say that okay, this whole situation was just a lot. This was, but we have an understanding. But you not selfless. Selfless is gonna help you accept the hiccups. It's going to help you accept the wins and also the losses. It's going to help you accept the criticism, the critique, things that's going to help you become better, especially now that you have an understanding with your artist, or an understanding with your manager or your creative director or your stylist, whatever it is. You have to be selfless in general. Like people are caring about themselves. Yeah, you're being selfish because at the end of the day, you're getting the bag. Yeah, go to every meeting knowing that the person doesn't really care about you. But still, though, I feel like for me, just based off of like the legends and the big artists that are blowing up right now, based off of their testimony, a lot of it has been just the selfless aspect of it. Like, you got to be able to like know that, all right, this sacrifice or this bet that I'm putting on this person is worth it, even if they annoyed the heck out of me. For sure. That's just, but obviously the business and everything is very key, because this is reality. Like, you got to make logical choices, but with those logical choices too, you got to be selfless.
Yeah, and I think like, it's interesting how we have two perspectives, an artist and the manager, talent.
Yeah, I think that's very cool.
I think it's so lovely. I think because it's just going, I'm just like, guys.
I'm just like,
this is what I call perspective.
I like that.
Now, I really like that. And I also feel like, like while the craft is being done and perfected, like while like a song is dropped, your manager has to support your roadmap and things like that. I'm sure there's some roadmaps. I'm sure there's some roadblocks that have been faced. Not on your manager's side, but on your side, that you kind of face your roadblock. And on your side, that you've been like, okay, cool, maybe I'm lacking some resources to propel this artist. Like, what are some roadblocks you guys have faced while trying to like do what you do?
Well, I mean, I'll definitely say it's difficult. Like, of course, just being like, a female, like in any space is already like a journey on its own. But like with the entertainment is a whole different like monopoly that now we're playing, because you have competition, then you have the guys that are just trying to like get their way or whatever, and then you have the ones that feel like they know people and they could get you in rooms and they could do this and just almost so trying to, just take advantage of you just because they know, like, you're in that scene and
It's kind of sad.
you kind of need this, Once you start mingling with this certain type of people are going to pay attention to you. And then that kind of raises, the stocks go high. That's just, how it works. But I mean, with me, I just have to put that poker face like all the time. And, like I was watching this interview Thames had with Cordy.
I was just about to bring that up.
And when she was explaining, having to go to the studio covered up,
she did mention
not because, someone is gonna come and go grab her or something like that, but because she knows what she's there for, and she knows that like presenting herself in a certain way is going to constitute nuisance. It doesn't matter if she wants it or not. It's just. It's just the world we live in. And a lot of people do not grasp that concept. They don't understand that, like, in as much as it's not the right thing to do, how you do, like, kind of present yourself is what's going to matter. So with that, just put that poker face. And I know that, like, this is what I want to do and this is my job. And I just try to just keep it, at that. And most of my clients, most of my friends are guys. Like, I don't really have female friends, but, like, with that, there has to be some sort of boundaries that's just sort of set. And it comes from the very beginning, because once you put some sort of like thought in somebody's mind or whatever, however it is that you present yourself is how someone is going to take you. And if they don't take you that way, you have to demand for it. And I feel like with females, well, like myself, like, trying to grow in the industry and go, coming into the industry is hard, but you also have to just have that discipline that, a lot of this is just going to come with that. So you have to know how to kind of go through that hoops and know what you're, what you're willing to give up. And you have to set those standards from the very beginning. And if you don't, being a female, you're always going to get tripped up eventually.
This is very true.
Because a lot glitters in the industry. You're going to be at parties and then, you're going to be on trips. Like, niggas going to put you on trips.
Hey.
And, in order to just be assertive and, to still kind of get a piece of the cake and still know what you're here for and what you're doing and to last a long time as a female, those boundaries has to be set like from the very beginning. So yeah, it's hard like navigating it from a female's perspective, but you still have to, know what you want and how you're going to go about it.
Yeah, I also feel like it's pretty difficult as well. Like, I mean, think about it, like even out of like a place like Nigeria, like the percentage of female artists that actually take off, it's pretty difficult. It's a pretty difficult industry to navigate. And I often wonder why that's the case. Yeah. So from like an artist perspective, like what kind of roadblocks did you encounter?
Like, I would say too, like Nigeria, Congo, Ghana, South Africa, everywhere, even here in America, in the hip hop industry, we know how hard it has been for females. But yeah, like, as a female artist, it's really not that easy. Like you said, you gotta set those boundaries. You gotta really set those boundaries. And it sucks that, as much as you want to wear a t-shirt and shorts because it's really hot outside, I'm pulling up to the studio with some sweatpants and a hoodie because I want you to focus on the music and I want us to really focus on the chemistry we're making for the music. Yeah. The chemistry is so important. Like, I don't care. Some people be trying to think like, oh, the chemistry is not important. We're just vibing. No, it's very important.
It's extremely important.
It's extremely important, but it's also extremely important to understand what that chemistry is and to define that chemistry. Yep. I have great chemistry with my producers who are my friends. Yeah. Yep. And we bond like this when we are creating something, but we define that chemistry
from day one,
which is the music, which is the sound, and that's how we're able to create, birth this. But it's really tough. Like, I mean, I'm always reaching out to people. I'm always hitting up people, DMing people like, hey, I would love to have this opportunity to perform here or work with you, or can you listen to my music? And I will know, just like any other female artist will know, when like this person vibes with you, they know you're good, but there could be some hesitation just because maybe, that's not really their intentions with you. And it's tough. I would say for me, I don't get to deal with that dark side of the industry as much as other people, fortunately, unfortunately, just because, like she said, set the boundary straight. I don't really have the time to like entertain that. I really don't. Like, I've been in her studio sessions. I don't know, like you've seen me come in. I think once or twice.
I think a session with Leah.
Yes, I've came in.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I think another one too. I don't remember the artist.
I'm just like reading the room, reading the room. But it's really tough for us, like. And it's a male dominant space.
Very dominated.
It's a male dominant space, and there are a lot of good males out there that are actually wanting to work with female artists, and unfortunately, there are also a lot of male artists.
Not as great.
And it's up to you as a female artist to know what you want.
Okay.
What do you want, and how do you want to get it? And are you okay with how you're going to get it?
Yeah.
Are you okay with how you're going to lose it? That's just the hard part. I've been like, people always be telling me like, it's going to take you a long time. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll be patient.
100%. Take your time.
Take your time, because if you don't want to take your time and you want to do whatever you got to do, it's your life, whatever, go ahead. But it's like, I hope you're crying in a Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. On some real. But it's really up to the female to like know what you want. Like, we already know who we're going to prosecute when it comes to the men and the uncomfortable, unnecessary space they put us in when we're not asking for it. We're not even creating a space. But you as a female to like know what you want, and also surround yourself with people that will remind you, like it's worth it to hold back. It's worth it to go to this other door instead of this door. It's worth it to just not even trip about that roadblock and go to the next, and
for sure.
And praying a lot too, like that's what gets me through it.
Amen.
Yeah. So like I have to play devil's advocate here, and I have to just kind of like ask a question. So
50-50?
Here we go.
Unfortunately,
is it giving 50-50?
Unfortunately,
is it giving 50-50?
I think it's given.
So if it's given, I just have to ask it. So you basically said get how you can get it. If you're okay with what happens in the back end, whatever the case is. So a lot of people can feel that being a female artist can also be an easy option, right? Some people say that because you have the option of selling things like the appeal with the videos, with like the songs. You can make bad bitch music, and cause you look like a bad bitch, you can sell it as well. So how do you then look at those people who play on the fact that they are a bad bitch, they utilize their body as assets, the way the spaces, whatever it is? How do you as an artist feel about it? And do you feel anything about it? You just feel like, get it how you can, to be honest, like nothing spoil.
I mean, that question is really for you, but I'm still, when you...
because I
want the artist to answer that question first, and then, I'll chip in on it.
And then I would say like entire management is like, if your artist, obviously, a lot of times you can start on the incline with your artist.
Okay.
Sometimes you can also be the person that carries that, like your artist needs to bump them from that roadblock to the next level. Mm-hmm. So what would you feel if like the artist you're working with insists on selling herself in that particular manner, and that's not your vibe? Do you adhere to that? Do you let it go? So that's your angle from a talent management perspective.
Okay, first of all, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by like, her wanting to sell her body.
Her appeal.
Okay, because that is sales. Like appeal. That, okay. So when it comes to like, just generally, even when it comes to anybody, label, whatever you want to call it, like, ideally looking to like lock in with like artists. They're looking at everything. Mm-hmm. They're just not looking at the music. They're looking at it if eventually, like, we could get you in on shows, like if we could get you in on a runway, if we, if we could get you on magazines, like, because this is extra stuff outside of the music that is additional to the bag.
Selling the appeal to.
Yeah, so that is already. I mean, I'm sorry to say, a lot of people won't admit it, but if you're talking standard industry, that's already like there. But you as the artist, now you kind of now have to figure out where you draw the line and how you want to go about it. But if it comes about the appeal, you have to be able to sell, period. no label wants to deal with any artist that they feel like they have to like do too much to put them together and do it. We're not in that age anymore. Like, you know, we could talk about that years ago, but right now is like, right now, how many followers you got? Then, you know, like how much connection do you have to the outside? Because control is what you're looking for. Are you able to control a certain amount of like geography? Like, are you able to like command people to do some certain, because that's what they care about. That's what sells. They're not really worried about like, you know, most of the times if you think about it, is the guys like, and then the rap artists, they could be fat and then they got the tattoos. They don't give a fuck, but they selling out shows because it's always easier for the guys.
And I was gonna.
It still goes back to the question you asked, like, you know, before this. Like, it's always still easier on the guys. Because I was just even about to ask Andi, like, you know, you being an artist, like, what would you say? Because I'll answer this question after I ask it to you. But do you feel like it's easier to manage a guy or a girl?
I feel like it's easier to manage a guy.
There we go.
Okay, but I see you to answer that first question. Yeah, and I'm curious to know from your perspective.
Me, what I would say is do what floats your boat, and
first.
Whatever, like I said, are you okay with what happens afterwards? You know, there are a lot of females that use other ways to highlight the whole empowerment of women in any ways they do it, whether that is singing about songs like this or showcasing it like this on their body. Do you. Whatever works for you, make sure it works for you, and that's what you're comfortable with. Set your boundaries. You know, like set your boundaries and make sure that you and your manager, your teams, you guys are both on the same page. Make sure you have people around you too that will remind you where you're starting from.
Important,
It will remind you of your morals, whatever, however you define your morals. Remind you of just everything that you need to be reminded of. Like, I have people around me to remind me of anything. And nobody knows me. Like I said, my name is Andi K. Music. I'm a dope artist. I'm an Afrobeat R&B artist. I'm Congolese. You know what I'm saying?
Congolese.
But with the 0.00005% of space that I take over in this industry, I still have people around me to just remind me of certain things, just because I know personally that's what I want to take if I'm able to be successful in, you know, this music industry. And like she said, a lot of things are standard. But it's also too about, when it comes to artists, which I always ask myself this question too, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go?
Who do you want your audience to be? Like, what do you want? Because like, this earth is so big. Like, this world is so big. The population is so big. Like, yeah, I get it. Top 200 Billboard chart. Like, but there's probably like another Billboard award show that accolade carries heavier weight than the Grammys here. Like, it's a big space, you know. But like what you said, for me, I feel like it's harder to manage a female artist because there's a lot you have
of maintenance.
There's a lot of maintenance.
A lot. Fair enough.
A lot, especially like when it comes to the competition, when it comes to the protection.
It gets real messy.
It gets real messy, and it doesn't even have to be. But unfortunately, that space has been created for it to be hard for female artists when it really shouldn't even be that way. It really shouldn't.
And now it's almost curated in a way where like the mess is a part of the show. So like you almost can't get to the success without the drama, because you have to somewhat be in the headlines, whether that's good or bad. Or,
but I'll say shout out to the new wave of female artists that are trying to go against that.
It's the ones holding it down.
The ones that holding that, especially the ones that I'm happy to see, like the Tims, the Irish Star, the Tylers, the Aya Nakamura.
Like, I might be watching this one day.
You know, yeah, for real. Like, I hope I'm gonna do something with y'all. But
and you will.
I'm happy that I get to see my representation and see them working together, because growing up listening to Afrobeat, like, yeah, we know the ones that were doing things together, but I guess I'll say like tabloids or whatever did their best to make them, you know, be separate. So now, like, you know, like, shout out to them. That's all I'm gonna just say.
Okay. Yeah, so
agree.
Unfortunately, we've reached the end of this episode. But I have a couple of questions, some would you rather questions for you guys.
Oh.
Individual questions first, and then I'm going to go with like a general question.
Okay.
So Andi.
So are we still rolling or is it over?
We're still rolling.
Oh.
You could start that again. You could go ahead.
Okay. So I have a couple of would you rather questions to end the episode. I'm going to ask individual questions. And then I'm going to ask like a general question.
BJ, be nice.
They're very calm questions. Don't worry. They're very calm questions. Don't worry,
Be
guys.
nice, guys. And we don't do that.
No, they're very nice questions, I promise. So, Andi, would you rather perform in front of a massive stadium or an intimate event? A massive stadium like they are all saying your name, or an intimate event of like superstars?
That's a good
Massive
question.
event.
Or an intimate event of superstars?
Massive event.
A massive event.
That's a
Massive
smart girl
event.
right there.
I'm a performer. I want to perform in front of people.
Hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear it.
The listening party can be the one with the celebrities and the intimate,
Fairs.
but massive event.
Yeah, because I mean, if she's already at the stage where she's performing for a large crowd, like
When I
those
performed
guys are gonna be fully like
when
pulling
I
up.
performed at the Buckhead Theater, that was my first
For Definitely
ever.
Gold?
Yeah, that was my
That
first.
was a hard opening, so let's give that a shot.
Mind
That was a hard
you,
opening.
First and hard opening. Where's the second one? Who is trying to make that shot not happen because they know this next time I get on that type of stage,
It's gonna be a
crazy.
problem.
It's Andy K show.
It's gonna be an Andy K show.
Yeah. So
Now, but Chisom, Chiz, let me ask you your question. Would you rather win a Grammy as a producer or have a song with 1 billion streams?
Have a song with 1 billion streams.
1 billion streams or a Grammy?
Have a song with 1 billion streams.
I feel like if you have a Grammy, automatically your song is on the way to having 1 billion streams.
If you have 1 billion streams,
You might not win a Grammy.
you might not win a Grammy, but you can still win a Grammy and not go places that 1 billion streams will take you.
I mean-
Because a Grammy is just the award. You get the fucking
It
award
validates.
and then you put it in your shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Drake shit is probably like in a toilet somewhere still collecting piss. So,
I'm dead.
I mean, to...
Fairs. No, that's a very fair point.
I mean,
I hear
so
that,
it's like-
I hear that.
if we do the numbers, 1 billion streams across several different platforms, what are we talking about? In what room can I not get in? What label can I not? How much
Politics.
can I not ask for? You're gonna give it to me.
But then I feel like I agree with that, yeah.
It's like this fly wants to be part of.
This flash has to join us.
y'all gonna use that sound? Zoom.
No, he's the curator of
The
the
guys
heavy heads.
The guys that come to the mic.
No,
boy.
no, and it's ate a lot of jealous vibes because that thing is big.
Yeah.
No,
But seriously though, I mean,
Wait, I can't lie. I have to restart that question.
okay, yeah, let's do
Just
it.
that question.
But that was good though. You can still cut it and add.
See what is it's not just we're not fake. Continue.
we're not
And
fake.
We're not fake.
Let's continue at the end then.
Yeah, no.
But we'll call this part in pieces, though. No. The question for both of you is: would you rather be known for a distinctive sound or for your versatility in producing different genres, producing or making different genres?
Andy? You guys always like
Both.
But no, you have to pick one. Would you rather?
Both.
Gun to your head right now.
Versatility with a distinctive sound.
No, if you have to
I
pick
can
one.
do everything, but you know, when you hear
Andy
Andy,
K,
you know
You know
it's
it's
me.
Andy.
Because my EP is exactly that, which is coming out very soon. So yeah, versatility with a distinctive sound.
Fair. What's your
That
EP
was Michael
called?
Jackson.
What's your EP called?
It's Rihanna. I don't know yet.
You don't know what EP is called
I'm
yet.
really like, it's just so much. It's so hard. I don't get how people do this.
and then you trying to get all the tea.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to know.
So yeah,
I'm only-
you're
I'm
trying
only
to get
curious,
all the
guys.
tea.
She's
You
telling me
know?
that her EP has
I have the name. I have.
I mean, guys,
everything.
just know it's
I have
coming
the theme.
soon.
And I've just been sitting down artwork. I'm just like the title. I don't.
You don't have a
know.
title.
But it's done.
It's almost done.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
say like it's 79%. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many songs are on there?
5.
5 songs.
Just 5. Yeah.
Is your first album?
Yes.
Your first album's coming out
Yeah.
soon, Fez. That's
Scary.
hard.
I'm just
that's
like,
exciting.
I'm just like, here, guys, because I just blah, blah, blah.
But if I would say though, I would say versatile. I would rather, it was a Grammy, right? Was it an award?
No, this is a different question entirely. So I'm asking you, like, would you rather be known for your distinctive sound?
like
Or
versatility.
for versatility when it comes to
Yeah,
different
like I
genres?
think being versatile, like being able to just dive into different stuff. I think that's why I love Gunna so much.
Gonna flex it,
you know,
yeah.
like if you heard the Jump record with like Ira Star and like Skillet Bang, like you have to listen to him on that song, like how
And
he
he
wrote the beat,
he writes,
and
he
that
writes,
was
he
an
writes.
Tyler.
yes, and
Tyler.
and that was an Afrobeat song. You get what I'm saying? And like being able to do that, that's what all these guys are still like having a hard time doing. Shout out to David, because like, you know, the last few records he's had, like even the one with Chris Brown, like, you know, it just kind of like, when we want to mix the whole American and Afro beats together, that's probably how we want to do
100%,
it. Like,
yeah.
you know, the other ones that, you know, have came out, it just sort of like wasn't there. So in terms of versatility, like being able to sing and then go on
Bounce
Afro
around,
beats,
yeah.
and then you could do trap, and then you could, you know, probably go to the UK and vibe out with them. Like that's very important. But I agree with Andy too, because you can't get lost in the sauce.
Exactly.
Can't get lost in the
You
sauce,
gotta
yeah.
know what it is, like what your sound is, and you have to own that shit.
Yeah.
That's why when you hear Wizkid, you hear David, you hear Burna, is the sound. They have a sound. It doesn't matter if you have your eyes closed anywhere in the world. You know that's Wizkid. You know that's David. You know that's Burna.
Fair, this
So-
is factual.
That's the hardest
You know
part.
that's Fali Pupa. Sorry, shout out to him.
Fali Pupa. Yo, I haven't heard of Fali Pupa in a very long time.
I love Fali.
Does she still make music?
Yeah, this dude
Are you
just
living in a rock?
What?
Probably so.
Yeah,
album
you are if you don't know
I've not
that.
heard if Fali Pupa song sings. What's that one song that's
Mayday,
popular?
Mayday, Mayday.
What's the popular one that everyone sings? Popular one that he had that blew up back
He has
then.
a lot of popular
You
ones.
are about to
not
say
just one.
Awilo Longomba, and that
It's not
is-
gonna really look on, but
that
it's
is-
one popular song that he had done. I must have been in undergrad that year, Fali Pupa.
No.
remember.
This like
in
in
undergrad?
18, 17, I think. I don't remember the name of the song, but he does have one that it went crazy here in Atlanta too.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know the song you're
It
talking
went,
about.
It went bizarre. What's
Damn,
that one?
what's that Fali
called?
Pupa song? Now you got me.
Yeah,
Nah,
listen.
Now I gotta
Are
look
you
it up.
talking about
Now I gotta look it up.
Okay.
Yamboyo. Yeah. Yeah,
I
that
don't,
one
I
too.
don't even know if it was that one. It
So,
probably wasn't that one.
so if it wasn't that one, he has more than one then.
Nah,
Like, he has a lot.
He's partnered up the artists. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. Right, if I were to ask you guys to give me your hot industry takes, and you have 45 seconds at most to defend your hot industry takes, what would those industry takes be?
When you're saying like be more specific.
Industry can be about an artist specifically. It can be about Afrobeats where people don't exist. Like example, a lot of people don't like the fact that Amapiano still exists and is a thing.
I'm getting tired though.
You get
I'm
what I'm
tired
saying?
already, but
That's what I'm saying. So like points is that's an industry
Shout
take
out
that
to
people,
Amapiano.
not
I'm
everyone
tired of
believes. but
shout out to
that's
Aman
what
Piano
I
though,
will
because
never
I'm
be
still gonna
tired.
hit that in the club every time. But I
Listen,
mean,
I was listening to Guara Guara. I was listening
But
to
I feel
all
like-
my piano.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like I feel like the Nigerians, because I'm Nigerian, I feel like they're overdoing it. That's just
Well, that's your hot industry take.
that is my opinion on like that whole like Aman Piano thing. Like that's just how I feel.
Fairs.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like they don't feel like the song is gonna blow if it doesn't have log drums in it. And now they've kind of like they have
Nigerians will know
that they
Amapiano
have
at this
that
point.
doctrine now like in everybody's head. That's why like when an artist releases a song that is really dope, like
Yeah.
good as fuck, they don't really pose your ear to listen to it because it doesn't have grrr, it doesn't have that like it doesn't have the lock drum, so like they can't dance, so they don't really feel like, you know, they could connect. So I don't. That's my take. I'll say I don't want to go on the artist thing. I'm not a Wizkid, David Burner. I don't give a fuck. I like good music. But-
Fairs. I do love good music.
If I'll get a take is on that, I feel like, you know, it's nice. I mean, every single day. I say Nigerians specifically because we have such a huge like population, and even in the industry, like artist wise, when it comes to whether known on or unknown, like we probably have like the highest of like artists right now, like mainstream wise, like
Yes.
internationally, like doing shit.
We actually do.
But like when it comes to the whole Aman Piano thing, I like it better when I actually listen to like good old South African house music is like this is how that sound is supposed to sound. It feels like the original. It feels like the original sound. Now I know that we've curated like our own little thing, but now like they give us an inch, we're taking a mile. We need to kind of like start figuring out.
That's the Nigerian thing.
I'm sorry.
They give you small, you have to just extend it.
I feel like we have I feel like I want to encourage them to push a little bit harder in their artistry to give me a little bit more than, log drums and amapiano.
Yeah, fair enough. I think like this one that I'm about to say, I actually discovered it recently, and apparently a lot of people know about it.
Okay.
I think the Nigerian artists in the East make the most money. I didn't realize this like recently.
You didn't know that?
Like Flavor and them, or South. Those artists make the most money, and not from like streams, but from like shows and appearances.
Weddings.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
I thought like
they stick to the
they're
local.
up and coming for the longest.
They stick to the local.
To you?
They stick
To me.
the local.
And locals have bread.
Yeah.
When you're going to a billionaire in Nigeria that is going to give you that same 200K that David Alberna had in UK, just because they can, like niggas are rich
Plus
in Nigeria, man.
Plus tip, man.
So it's like those guys, and then it's not really all of them. Like I wouldn't really even say the percentage still kind of supersedes like the mainstream ones that are really like getting like big bangs on shows. But generally, that like the shows that they're doing, like niggas like Flavor, they're making money.
Fair.
And it's not, you're not gonna see them in Ireland, you're not gonna see them in Moscow, you're not gonna see them in all those weird places that these guys are gonna go. True. But where they're going, don't worry, they're getting breaded.
They're going far. Yeah. Do you have any hot takes?
Yeah.
What's your hot take, Andi?
My hot take is
get us lit.
First gen.
She's thinking carefully. You know she's an artist.
Yeah.
So she's trying to
we don't know
make sure.
We don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I'm so
feel
sorry.
You, sis.
Future Andi, I'm so sorry. I'm acting like a chicken right now, okay? But I'm gonna say this. I say first gen African artists here in the diaspora and in America. We make great music. And you guys need to turn your ears and your eyes before the other big labels do it.
Are you guys pushing it far enough?
How can we?
Do you feel like no? Just generally.
How can we?
You can't tell me how.
How can we? If you're in a meeting with an A&R and the first thing they're saying is go back home. I mean, I'll say like I don't know how many artists right now that are here that are really like up there, but right now I just say like Manny Wells. Like for me, if he keeps doing this pace, people might not see it, but if he keeps doing his pace, he could break that wall of an African artist that is here in America that's going to blow up. And that's just because of a lot of the placements that he's been doing underground. A lot of the...
I agree. It's so hard. No one has done it.
No one has done it.
Down to everybody. Everybody has to go home. Tenny, you name it. Like...
Everybody,
if you kind of want that, opportunity like that, because they'll just value you more there.
For me, that's
key.
Like, it is, but I do feel like it's gonna change. That's why I'm saying this. My hot take now: catch on it before you're too late to get on the train, because eventually, like the same way people think Afrobeat is gonna get washed out, the same way they think amapiano is gonna get washed out, is the same way people are gonna realize they don't have to go to overseas or to Europe to find a kid here that's got it 20 times harder and is making songs as if he was going back home.
True.
His dialect is still the same. Her dialect is still the same. Her passion, the way she creates this melody is still the same. And not only that, you now have the kid, the first gen artist that lives here. So you're already now getting the American culture on top of that, the sound. Like, I can't really define a sound in Atlanta, but there's a sound here that is in a lot of the upcoming artists' sounds that are African, that is not the same if they were born in Lagos. Obviously, a boy that was born in Lagos is going to sound way more sweeter than a boy that, I guess lives here. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, because the way he's going to change it, his dialect, the sauce that he'll get from whether he was in New York or LA, and then it's going to be something different.
True.
And I say the same thing for me and for any other female artist here in Atlanta or New York or whatever. Like, hop on that train now before it's too late, because I do feel like the industry has been changing and will change soon in the future, where they'll now start investing in artists that are here, that are already doing the work, that are doing half of the work, which is building their community, which is building the streams and going viral and everything like that. And all it takes is one. Like I said, Manny Wills has done it. Eventually more artists will start doing it. You know, there'll be that one kid that knows how to make Afrofusion, knows how to make, like I do Afro R&B, knows how to do Afro R&B. Next thing you know, like, the Americans are like, this is cool. Like, this is a vibe. And now, like, it's just growing, and poof.
Do you feel like it's been easier, like with you being doing Afro R&B, do you feel like it's been easier with like girls like Thames and Ira and all these guys coming out now? Do you feel like it's easier for people to somewhat like accept that sound that you're trying to, you know, own? Mm-hmm. Because what is now in mainstream is almost similar, or it can relate somewhat so to each other than before they came out.
Yeah. I don't think it's easier, but I feel like it was hard. But I would say
it's easier.
Okay, then it's easier. But I would say it's easier in a sense where, like, Sam's just opened up that door to be like, hey, I'm African and I can make an amazing soulful sound with a little bit of Afro, and you guys are gonna like it. And now every girl that's African, that's sitting in her closet, that's doing "Why You Wanna Try Me" and doing all this heartbreak stuff.
Period.
No, I'm just saying.
All right, you showing off.
I'm just saying, like,
okay, vocals.
Now she knows. No, I'm just saying, now she knows. Bet I can do this, because I'm not focused on getting a hit song in the club now. I'm just focused on getting a hit song that somebody can relate, because I related to Tim's.
Okay, like that.
And with that, I'd like to say...
sorry.
And with that, I would like to say...
it's just like what to look out for. It's like you said, very much like you can just ask again, like anything you want to plug.
Fair.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. And then I guess before we wrap this up, anything for us to look forward to? What are the next steps? What's coming up? What's bubbling? Just give us a quick summary of what's going on. What to expect.
Set. Okay, yeah. So, like I said, once again, my name is Andi K, and I'm here in ATL. I just recently dropped a song called Dracula, but I'm planning to release another single very soon, somewhat. No.
Beach is a madman.
Oh my God, no. But yeah, I'm planning to release another single and project on the way.
Be on the lookout.
And the project is called...
The product is called...
We don't know yet. Mind your business,
I'm just
DJ.
curious
And
to
when
know.
it is out, you will know.
We'll find out, guys. I tried
Period.
my best.
Merci. Ciao.
Hey guys, Chiz here again. It was an honor being on this podcast with you guys. I had so much fun. For me, I mean, more shows, festival, trying to see what's next for Rhythm Lab, working on 2.0.
Where's Rhythm Lab at?
Peachtree Corners.
Give it to them now.
Rhythm Lab, Peachtree Corners.
Gangsta.
But we have a new studio opening up in Marietta, so come check us out. And then please, the last thing I want to say before you guys cut the mic on me. Underground Atlanta artists, please try to work with each other and collaborate more, because you guys are stronger together than just by yourself.
Yeah, and just to add to that, like, when you guys do meet to collaborate, like, if you guys feel as though you guys don't have that, like, knowledge on how to, like, plan an event or put something together, just reach out to somebody that does that already. Like, Chase does that, I can do that. Just reach out to someone that you think is plugged enough to, like, put something small together, like a small show, small link up, doesn't matter. I think it's very important to, like, constantly keep reaching out. From my point of view, Sha.
No matter how small it is, because every little step matters.
But again, thanks guys for coming on our show. Shout out Andi, shout out Chiz, shout out Rhythm Lab.
Big shout out to RL.
Episode.
Bye guys.
Shout out everybody. Fizz, man.
RL now. RL is Rhythm Lab.
That was great.
Woo.
I never chop.
Let me go and find.
Yeah, you know, like, you know, every time he asked the question,
The
right?
crazy thing is, you were here talking, and I knew like no.
Every time he asked the question and she started talking, I would always remind myself how hungry I am. And how Olu told me, I just be like,
No,